So this is my office area. We get calls and I log in calls and what I do with them. And behind you is a lot of resources. People have questions. I'm able to look up information. And then we have a second room where we hold the animals. So if it's cold outside or hot in the summer, they can come in here for heat or air conditioning. And most of the animals get claimed within within an hour usually. So they're not usually here very long.
And I imagine, especially now, people are desperate for pets.
Yeah, so all the shelters, as soon as they're coming in and getting ready and prepped, and they're correctly adopted before they even go on the floor for adoption.
Cool.
Shall we step outside?
Is there an outdoor holding area?
Yeah, over here we have a little pen. The canoes are in the way right now.
I see. Let me get a shot of it.
Usually there's a clear walkway to it. So the NRC buys the corn, and I make sure either I or some of the volunteers will take a trough of corn to the town hall ducks because the white ones can't fly. So we got to feed them all winter, so people can always volunteer to help with that.
So how long have you been working for Wesleyan?
I started September 1976.
And how have things changed over the years?
A lot of changes. When I first started, I never picked up a dog. I would pick up a pack of dogs.
Wow.
The leash law was new, and none of the dogs are spayed or neutered, so you'd have all the boy dogs fighting over a girl dog. And a lot of the dogs are super nice when they're by themselves, but when they pack together, they'd be chasing people on bicycles and causing problems, and lots of hit by cars. So it was always...
What changed?
People started leashing their dogs, controlling their dogs, getting them spayed and neutered. That helped a lot because some of the bad behaviors were from intact animals.
And I remember a couple of years ago we had somebody from our studio doing a Pet of the Week video with you guys.
Yeah.
It's always cats, so you getting more cats?
Yeah, so cats are the number one animal that doesn't get claimed. Although in Wellesley, like 99% of the dogs are claimed. But the cats, we're actually way up to 75% because of the microchips, getting it back to owners. But it's amazing when I get a cat and the chip says it comes from Arlington or Norwood or some other town. I'd gotten somebody's car and went for a ride. But without the chips, they would never have been reunited.
You drive them back?
No, they have to come here and get them.
So how did you get into this line of work?
I always loved animals. And I went to school as a veterinary technician, and my father worked for the police department, so I heard about the opening when they first made control law and were hiring an animal control. So I applied. The job I was working was coming to end. They were closing down that facility, so it was good timing. So I also, because I knew all the officers through my dad, and I had already been stopping and helping them with animals when I'd see them on the road so that they would stay safe too, showing them how to do it right. So it was good timing.
So is being an animal control officer ever a tough job for an animal lover?
Yes. So people want to do it because they love animals, but again, 90% of the job is dealing with the two-legged animals and the owners and the people. And sometimes, animals need to be euthanized. That's tough. Even though it's the most humane thing to do with the animal, they're suffering, it's still sad. to do.
What do you do when you come across a person who is mistreating animals?
So I'm lucky in Wellesley we don't get a lot of severe stuff like that. And a lot of the stuff I see is more that the person needs to be educated on how to take care of the animal or how to train it. So I know a lot of times I explain something to somebody in 24 hours, come back and they had fixed everything that they needed to do.
Oh, wow.
So they're pretty responsive
Well,
in this community. So
I imagine you have a couple of pets yourself.
yes,
Tell us
I've
about it.
got a dog and a cat right now. So
What are their names?
Suki, he's the hound, huge. And the cat actually belonged to the Spin adoption counselor, and she passed away. And so I took her cat. So all the volunteers at Spin and Stray Pets in Need were happy to know that Christopher is still around and they get to visit with him. So,
Have you met the person you're replacing him?
I'm pretty sure that the person I've met over Zoom, because we did interviews. So the one they've picked, they're still doing a background check and all that stuff. So, and if that's the one that comes on, I liked her interview, and she seemed to have a lot of the same philosophy that I have, working on ways to be able to keep people and pets together. So.
When you leave, is that person coming in the next day?
No, they're still doing the background check and whatever they have to do. You know.
This is your last day today.
Yeah. So there's always been like one of the officers kind of covers some of the stuff when I'm not here, when I'm on vacation and stuff. And right now they might have to call like a surrounding town animal control officer if it's something they can't handle, or we've also called the Animal Rescue League of Boston for help, but generally it's something beyond what the officers can handle in a real emergency type thing. So just like I've been on vacation, so it's a little vacation time before the new person comes in.
Do you have plans for your retirement?
Yeah, I've always wanted to do more with Stray Pets in Need, with my search and rescue. I also do Safe People, Safe Pets and the domestic violence program. I've also done a lot of lobbying at the State House and the federal, and I want to be able to do more of that, more letter writing and contacting my reps about different issues to improve the community for all. And I want to travel. I have friends around the country, other ACOs I've met at different conferences. I'd like to go visit them. I'd like to go out to Nez Perce Historical Society. I've always been interested in that tribe, so I want to actually go see firsthand what's going on out there.
Any final thoughts or anything you want to say to the people of Wellesley?
People in Wellesley have been great about listening to my advice, and I love teaching the kids. So maybe actually when COVID's over, I'll be able to do some of that through the Stray Pets group. Let's get back into programs with kids. And I don't know, it's just always answering their questions, so they can still reach out to Stray Pets in Need. But I'll be around to help the new person a little bit, to give her advice, and I've been typing up all my tips, the most common questions people ask, so trying to pass on some of my knowledge.
Okay.